Hey, welcome to your first day at Hat Tuxedo. I'm Andrea, and I've been doing this for a long, long time, and I'm going to help steer and navigate your introductory to the tuxedo world. So, welcome aboard. One of the first things I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to give you a tour of the store, okay? So, when you come in the front of our store, you're going to see on both sides, which is like this, that's my tuxedo showroom. Okay, so everything tuxedo is up front. And then I also have my premier three in the middle. Okay, those are like our standouts. Those are our real nice ones that we show. Okay, so then as we walking into the store, and we could either walk down that aisle, and we're gonna walk down this aisle, and behind me, you're gonna see that we have suits. I'm going to go into the suits. We're going to do a separate video. So behind me, there's a group called Fiorelli. Behind that, we have a group called Caravelli. These are regular price suits. And then you're going to see smatterings of suits through the store that are discounted, that are for sale, that are marked down at a lesser price, okay? Suits like these are on clearance. Also have more clearance suits up here at the top. Limited sizing though, however, that's a big thing to keep in mind. But also, if we come over here, you're also going to see that we sell sport coats. Yeah, we sell men's sport coats. We have men's raincoats. I have coats in blue, black, and navy. Okay, so that's kind of a cool thing. You're also going to see special purchases that we get for proms, such as Brad just got these, and these are freaking amazing. They need steamed, but those are really cool. So like for the guy for prom, these are awesome tuxedos. We're going to come to the place now. You're going to see it. We have all our try-on shoes on one side. These are suit vests, separated again by the brands, but you'll see, we'll go through that. Also, if we come over here, you're going to see that the store has actually 5 fitting rooms. Oh my goodness. We won't show you that one. So let's go over here to this one. Okay, so you can see there are basically no mirrors in the room. Why? Because we want them to come out and see us, okay? But again, you're going to see different things like on our slat walls that are for sale. You're going to see up here to the left of the cash register, most of these down here are just stock that we need to put away, but you're going to see up on the wall, these are things that are on clearance for sale. And then we also come over here, and again, sorry this is in the way, these are suits that need to be put away. We sell shirts. We sell ties and cummerbunds. We sell suspenders. We've got a really large selection of accessories to buy in solid silk and regular satin. Behind these pants that you can't really see well, but there are cabinets right there. And underneath those cabinets are spare shirts, okay? So we have our nicer, finer, more expensive tuxedo shirts up on this, okay? So those are some different things here. If we went the other way, so technically now we're going back around again, this bottom part. Now what I'm looking at is my specialty shoes. These are all clearance shoes. They're all closeouts because of sizes, not having very many sizes. So unfortunately, these guys, if they can find a shoe that fits them, they're going to get a really great deal on the shoe. But I don't have a lot of sizes. If we come over here, I'm going to move these. If we come over to here, this is our try-ons, okay? So when somebody comes in and they need to get fit, this is where we're going to take measurements, and this is where we're going to pull stuff to try on. So you're going to see that there's shirts. In the shirts are regular fit and fitted shirts. There are suit vests. There's pants. There's suits. There's tuxedos. And there's kids, okay? So one of the things that you're going to learn when you come in here is that we will definitely help you through your way when you're measuring someone. And I'm going to show you a video. And with my lovely assistant of Brad, we will get the video and show you. We also sell sunglasses. So if you look at, it just happened to be Brad's birthday. But if you just happen to look up here at the counter, we do sell socks. We sell top hats. We can sell just about anything. So if a customer comes in and they have a special need, if you ask Brad or if you ask Bryce, we could probably, don't automatically say no. It's going to depend on when the event is, but a lot of things we can get. behind the register, you're going to see this is where we keep our rental tickets. This is where we keep our retail tickets, our color swatches, different files, different retail things. This is our thermostat, which we never ever touch. We keep that set. And then the conveyor. You're going to see here on the conveyor that the conveyor actually works by a foot pedal. I'm trying to see if you can... God. Okay, there's the foot pedal. So literally, very simple. If I want the conveyor to go to the right, I'm going to push the right. If I want the conveyor to go to the left, I'm going to push the left. Now, this is super, super, super important. Do not put your foot on that and start jerking it back around, and if that thing has not stopped, because you will break the motor, and then that's not good. That's thousands of dollars to fix, and I'm sure you don't want to be responsible for that. So basically, if you use the conveyor, step on it and let it stop, okay? It takes my foot off and it still moves a little bit, so that's why it's really important. Don't put your foot on there and just like start going back and forth. Down in these two cupboards, we have extra ties and cummerbunds that are like hanging up on the wall. Over here, we have different like little pieces that we need. Sometimes we have different spare accessories in these two drawers. We do have mailing boxes. Shoe purchase binder if you purchase shoes. We also have applications. Up here, we're going to go into these, and we're going to go into them really deep, okay? But right over here in this, I have a suit to order, and we'll talk about that. I also have sign-in sheets, and that's for when you're really busy, and people come in and they sign up, and that's who gets help first. I have new wedding cards, which we're going to go over. Then I have tux rental agreements and suit purchase agreements, okay? And those are really big too. But we're going to go through all that. Don't worry, okay? We're going to go through all that. Underneath the conveyor, I also have extra retail rental slips. I have extra retail slips. I have extra little plastic bags, those kinds of things. When we're looking behind here, this is going to seem like a big, oh my gosh, I have no idea what this is. But when you look back here, you're going to see it's pretty easy. We've got blank envelopes over here in the corner that we use when we note the store open or close. And we do a new envelope, which I'll show you how we do that. I have paid stamps. I have received stamps. So every time a tuxedo gets returned, imperative that we stamp that received. I have my charge machine, which we're going to go through. Our phone system, which is very, very easy. Little different things up here for the office. Retail slips, once they have been filled out, we put them in this folder. And this is how you get your commission, by the way. Very important. I'm going to pull out this one, and I'm not going to pick on her per se, but I am going to a little bit. So part of the problem, the blue paisley what? Blue paisley vest, blue paisley jacket. I'm going to judge by the price that it was a coat, but I don't want to guess. Also underneath, knit pants, shoes couture. What style? What size? So when Brad goes to reorder items, it's really important that we fill out these slips completely. Just because he needs to reorder it, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Actually, they all kind of need a little training on that. Now, here's a perfect one. The Mac did. And right here, you see the shoe, you see the size, you see the description, price, boom, done, and the validation, okay? And we'll talk more about validation later, but if this was a correct, I would say Cardi blue paisley coat, size 42 regular, black knit trouser, waist 32. Outseam on there. If he wants a hem, I need to know how long do I make them. The shoes, couture shoes, and then that's this one, okay? Do you think I want to show this one to Brad though, however, because I think he may need to order that. So I'm going to keep that one out. So I'm going to put these back in the box. So anytime you sell anything, very imperative, after it's validated, after it's paid for in full. So somebody come in and they're going to spend $1,000 with you, and that's great. And you're like, woo, my check's coming, and I have $1,000 commission on that check. Well, if they only put layaway down, if they only put 200 down, technically on the retail, we have a retail section on this. If their tuxedo is hanging in there, you're not going to get that commission until it's paid for. So it's really imperative that, like, some of the layaways have been there forever and they're ridiculous. Some people come in, they're like $10 at a time for like forever. But basically, if you can tell them like half down and then do the other half in a month or maybe 2 months at the max, this way it doesn't keep our conveyor full. You get your commission faster and everybody's much happier. Okay, so that's where this is. Then if I come over here, we do have a wedding appointment book. So we pretty much schedule our wedding appointments. We do take walk-ins, although I will say, however, a walk-in wedding can be kind of hard. A walk-in wedding can be on a pickup day when you're getting ready for wedding pickups to come in. Walk-in wedding could happen really on any day, weekend, whatever. They're just out cruising around and they want to stop in. If you can handle that wedding, if you are staffed to handle that wedding, then we definitely say try to do that. Okay, if you can, try to do it. That would be great. If for some reason everybody's full, everybody has weddings, because I will say Saturdays, the weekends can book out extremely quick. Prom is another story. So what you want to do is you want to explain to the bride and groom that we can set up an appointment time for them, and we'll show you how to go up and use this book to set that up. Okay, there's also orders up here. So this current week for March 12th, there's orders in here. Okay, then back here underneath these counters, I showed you a little bit in an earlier video, but these are pending weddings. So the front section right here, these are weddings that we actually have an appointment for, okay? So we have appointment for, somebody comes in, they're like, hi, I'm Mary Jones, I have an appointment at 3 o'clock. This is where you're gonna come find her file. If for some reason you don't find her file, it would be possibly in the pendings. Now, the weddings are set up by date of appointment, not wedding date. So it would be soonest to latest. So it's going to be like March 4th and then March 8th, 12th, 15th, like that. So that's how they're labeled, and everything is labeled on the top right corner. This should be. See, appointment 3-1, 5:45. Okay, so that should be in there. And technically, behind it, these are in order of wedding date. Okay, so Brad goes to bridal shows. Brad goes and books some weddings. They have specials at the bridal show that he books with. And so when we get those names and they actually do book with us, we put those in here. So then we're going to start doing what we call follow-up. Okay, so being a nurse, I think it's much easier on the chart. So I'm going to write up here, this was a wedding. They technically were a COVID reschedule. So up here, I'm going to say follow up for new wedding date. And sometimes with that, I really like to write a date. So follow up 2-1, okay? Then also, I go to the inside. So I like to leave notes so everybody knows what's going on. So if the bride and groom call, I pick up this note, I should be able to see what just happened with Bryce going off of this note, okay? So you can see the dates that I've logged, but I've tried to set appointment, postponed. You want to be as thorough as possible. So when you pick this up, you're like, oh yeah, I see, okay? So that's really important. You want to write your follow-up dates. Typically, I think Brad will say to call, I don't know, maybe 2-3 times. I mean, I hate to say it, I've called like 6 times. So here's another one. call again. So there's another follow-up date, okay? So that's how this is. Behind that is swatches of the specialty stuff that Brad can get. Down here is just past weddings that were in the past, orders that were in the past. So once they've already happened, they go down in that drawer. Weddings that I have coming up. So somebody comes in, they need to get measured for a wedding. We have them separated by month. And actually that needs to go away. We have them separated by month and the date. So in that month, April 2nd is going to come, and then April 16th, 22nd, 23rd, 28th, 30. Okay, like that. So we can also go through here and see when an event is scheduled for. So let's say somebody comes in and they're like, hey, I need to get measured for my brother's wedding. And I'm going to say, okay, great. What's the date of the wedding and the groom's last name? Because that's, if they say the bride, I could probably find the bride as well, because her name is written on there as well. But it definitely makes it easier if they tell me the groom, okay? So they're going to come in and they're going to say, it's May 22nd, or I'm sorry, it's May 21st, and the groom's last name is Ramsey, okay? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down and I'm going to sort through that file, and I'm going to find till I find them, okay? When I open that up, I'm going to see right next to that person's name, and we'll go into this. This is its own meaty section. You're going to see next to that name, there's a date. Let's say they were going to get measured. Then I'm basically going to write down the ticket number that corresponds. So every one of these tickets corresponds with the numbers that are right here. And again, I'm going to go into this. That's really meaty. But just so you have an idea, that's where this stuff is. So let me get this back in the right section. Okay, down underneath, right now that's empty, but a lot of times what will happen is through the spring and summer, we will have so many in here for spring and summer that this is completely packed and it starts going overflow to the bottom, like September, October, November. Underneath here, if you ever need them, there's business cards. That's where we always have our cleaning supplies. On the very bottom shelf, there's Windex. It's always really imperative that we keep the store looking nice. There's Swiffer dusters down there. Everything in here gets so extremely dirty because it is an open air mall. There's file folders. Over here, there's green apple slips, postcards that they get at the bridal show and whatnot. So that's a big one right there. Another thing about the front. And so, okay, so here's what I'm going to do with this. So this file, February's gone, right? So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to take this and I'm going to put this, somebody already did February, but if they would have looked and seen, we already had one. So sometimes it's just looking. Don't already make a new one because you might already have it. We also have files to follow up on. A lot of times these are Bryce. He'll take care of those. I also have over here, these are very important. This is our shipping logs. So let's say I sell a suit and I know we try to get the suits to them 3 weeks before the wedding, right? So what I'm going to do, let's say for a wedding that is March, well, let's do it the 25th just to make it simple. We're going to go back 3 weeks. So we always start on Saturday. So even if their wedding is on a Friday, the first day their suit's going to be available to try on would be on the Saturday. Okay, so we go 3 weeks back. So there's 1, 2, 3. Technically, I'm sorry, my bad. It would be 1, 2, 3. So for instance, anybody's wedding, you can't see this. Anybody's wedding on March 5th or Friday the 4th, they would be ready to be picked up on or after 1, 2, 3, starting on the 26th. We don't start them on Fridays because Friday is a shorter day and it can also be really chaotic. So we basically tell them, don't call us, don't do anything like that. Just plan on being here 3 weeks before. That's our suit pickup. And we'll talk more about that. But that's just so you kind of have an eye about that. That's what this shipping log is about. Because then what happens is, let's say Bobby lives out of town. Bobby's in, I don't know, Massachusetts. So Bobby, he's not going to be able to come in and pick his suit up 3 weeks before, right? So what we do as we call them. We confirm their shipping address. We confirm their credit card. We take final payment for the outfit, and we also take a $15 shipping fee. Once we do that, then I'm going to note in here, not the date of the wedding because that doesn't matter. I'm going to note the date I need to ship it. So I need, once it's available, right? Available 3 weeks before, it would be available for try on here. I'm going to ship it. Okay. So that's really, really important. So then that gets transferred over to this book. And then once that is shipped, that is checked off. But that's really imperative. What happens sometimes is somehow it slips through the cracks, and a week before the wedding, we're like, hey, Bobby never got a suit. Well, Bobby lives in Boston, and we never made a note that we needed to ship it to him. And that causes Brad a lot of undue stress, because at that point, now we're like rushing this suit out to Bobby. And then let's say Bobby puts it on and it doesn't even fit him. Now we have a real issue of trying to get another suit in that size. If it's some of the suits that we own, I can't even say that that wouldn't be an issue. Before COVID and before the crisis with the ships, we had a lot of stock for extra suits. We could say, oh, okay, that's not a big deal. We could go pull it. The problem is that now with COVID, we don't necessarily have a big selection of inventory to pull from. So it's super huge, super important that you pay attention to those, okay? And we'll learn more about that, but that's there. So I've kind of covered the front. What we're going to do is now we're going to go into the back. For one thing, we never ever want to keep this door open when we are helping a customer because I don't want the customer to see this. I mean, it's not horrible, but ideally, if we're going to come back and ask a question, you don't want to come stand here and go, hey, Johnny, what do I do about this? If I close the door, come to the back, I'm going to stress that everything that is said in the back is heard up front. So any 4-letter F-bombs that you and your friends are joking about at the moment, the coworker, they're going to hear it out front. So you definitely need to keep it down, okay? No loud laughing, keep it down. It's just not professional. Even if you have your own music on in your earbud, which you would never wear that on the floor. And I'm going to repeat that. Don't ever wear earphones on the floor. Don't ever be listening to music while you're on the floor, okay? We have a stereo system here, and that's going. And you might not like the kind of music, but it is what it is, okay?